This is Jack with the Trading Tribe. Super excited to be back at it today with another video. We're going to cover how to long futures. We're going to have kind of a video series here on how to long futures and then how to short futures as well. Hopefully both give you a ton of value. We haven't really talked on the channel yet on kind of the mechanics of trading futures and really what it looks like compared to stocks. So I wanted to give one or two videos kind of going through, if we have a buy setup forming, how do we actually buy in the market? And then vice versa, right? If we have a shorting opportunity, how do we actually short in the futures market? If this does provide value, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more content like this coming this year, so super excited to bring more of that to you. And if we look at the screen here, we're looking at natural gas, which is a futures contract that I trade quite a bit. So up here at the top left, we can see that we're looking at the front month currently, at least for natural gas, and that's what this ticker symbol is up here at the top left. And with futures, I have a ton of videos on the channel kind of going through some of the basics. I think those are important to watch first. But once futures kind of make sense and it clicks for you, it'll make more sense as to what I'm about to do. But everything in the futures market is relating to a contract. So a little bit different than the stock market or Forex or crypto. You're not buying shares per se, you're buying a contract. So in the given market that you're trading, regardless of the futures contract, right? Let's just pretend we want to buy down here if the price comes down and hits 2.34, for example. This is, a hypothetical trade, but just to give an example of the area we want to buy at. The first step is obviously determining where you want to buy. The second step is determining how much size you want to go into the position with. So micro futures, standard futures, all trade within a contract position size. And so determining that before the trade is always what you're going to need to do, because when you're actually putting in the order on the buy side, right, regardless of if you use Active Trader or if you put in just an order on your phone or anything like that, you are going to have to specify, right, that contract size. So if I open up Active Trader over here on the right, we'll notice that the futures contract buttons look a little bit different. So if we're trading like Tesla, right, and we want to put in a buy order, we're going to buy shares, right? So it kind of depends how much capital we have. We've got to do some math, figure out how much we can even buy, and then kind of backtrack from there. The futures market's way easier than that, right? You're just dealing with whole numbers because each contract is a whole number, right? And if you want to trade with one contract, which is actually pretty big in the futures market, essentially this is just a one, right? If we want to trade with 4 micros or 5 micros, we can click 5 and switch this to 5 before we place the order. But essentially, before you even put the buy order in, this is something that you'll need to consider in the markets. And then in this case, right, we'll just stick with 1 for this example. So I'll click on the 1. And then Active Trader is just the way I like to facilitate my orders. I have a couple of videos on the channel on all the different things I do with orders, like fantasy orders and anticipating orders and stuff like that. So definitely check those out. But essentially on the left-hand side here, we have the bid, which is essentially the price that a bunch of buyers are willing to buy at. So if we're looking to buy, right, in a given futures market, we're going to use this bid column to actually put our buy order in, right? So once we choose our contract size, we can essentially go and pick our price. So the market's actually off right now. It's a Sunday, so the market's not on, and that's why this ladder's not moving. But if we scroll down right to 2.34, kind of like we talked about, here is that price point that let's just per se say we want to get in at, right? And then if we actually want to place the buy order, right, we can essentially just put in the order. So on the left-hand side here, we'll notice it even gives you a preview and says that we're going to buy 1 contract with a limit order. And I'll have a video in the future going over all the order types as well. But essentially a limit order is saying I only want to buy if price gets down to this level or lower. So you're not going to get filled, right where the price is right now and get a bad deal. You're essentially specifying the exact price point that you're willing to buy at. And then essentially if you want to long in the market, that's all you have to do. So now we have a order sitting out there. One thing on the buy side to be a little bit careful of is this order type up here. So depending on if you're day trading or swing trading, this does depend. So obviously if we do the drop down, day trades would be day. And then if you are placing a fantasy order or a buy order for more of like a swing trade, that might not get filled till tomorrow, let's just say. We'll want to make sure we flip this to GTC. That actually means good till canceled. So it'll essentially stay in the market even if it doesn't get filled till 3 days from now, for example. So just a small nuance there on kind of how to put a fantasy long order in that doesn't fill right away, like this one per se. We'll want to make sure there is good till canceled here before we drop in the order. And then on the long side, in order to exit a position, right, we have to sell the contract once we get into it. So let's just pretend the price comes down here, fills this order, right? Essentially, we would see a 1 here, signifying that we're in one contract. And then to get out of that position, we'd have to sell that contract. So a couple ways you can do this, right? We can come over here to the right side where we see the ask column, and we could drop in a sell order at the price point we want to sell at. Or if we just want to get out of the position, let's just say we can always click sell market, which will essentially find that nearest buyer and sell to them. So hopefully this makes sense. This is how to execute really a long setup or a long trade, how to do the buy side of the order and the sell side of the order. And this is how you would do it in the markets as well. So hopefully this adds a lot of value, and we'll be back next time for how to short futures in the market.